Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. This is your girl, Jasmine D. Felder, and welcome to the Brand of Jasmine D podcast. In this podcast, we discuss topics surrounding the modern day woman, her lifestyle, her career, parenting, relationships, family, and more. The entire purpose for this podcast is to use my own life experiences and education to assist with the identification of your purpose. Through my own personal struggles, it is my goal to show there is a brighter day, a brighter side to what you're going through. Today, I wanted to talk about or go over the subject of non-negotiables. So as an educator, in actually my district, we have something called non-negotiables. And most educators know what I'm referring to when I say this. So a non-negotiable is something that you have to do regardless of the circumstances that surround it. So in education, there are some different things that we have to do to ensure the success of our students. So no matter what is going on, no matter how you had to teach that day, no matter how many students you had, no matter the other administrative tasks that you may have had that week, there are certain things that you must do daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly to ensure the success of your students. And if it's not done, then there's some type of consequence to that. So that's what we call our non-negotiables. Of course, teachers can also have this in their classrooms with their students. But definitely I wanted to talk about non-negotiables because when I thought about this, I started to say, what are your own non-negotiables for your life? I asked myself this question. What are things that people must do in your friendships, in your relationships, your work relationships, personal, professional, no matter what it is, what are some non-negotiables? What are some things that you require for people to be in your life? So I wanted to talk today about myself and to also kind of make the question pop in your mind. What are your non-negotiables? And if you don't have any, what can you do to create some? Because what I'm starting to realize is myself, I lack boundaries when it comes to saying no. A lot of times I'm busy, I'm overworked, I'm a single mom, I have tasks that I have to do on my job. I have, of course, to take care of my daughter every day. In the past, homework, just a lot of different things I have to do. And someone may call and say, Jasmine, I was wondering, can you do this for me? Or can you come here? Or can you help this day and do this? And in my mind, I'm wanting to say no, but I don't want to disappoint. And what I realize is that causes me to feel burnt out because I already have my tasks that I have to do, but now I'm taking on more tasks because I don't want to disappoint someone. Now, occasionally it's okay to take on something additional, but a lot of times we're feeling burnt out for people who would never feel burnt out for us. We're feeling burnt out. We're tired. We're taking on additional tasks for people who don't even have half the responsibilities that we have and would still say no. So for me, I'm starting to realize the importance of saying no or I can't, and I just have to get over that temporary moment of feeling bad because at the end of the day, if I continue to give in this area, this area, this area, and this area, I'm going to be burnt out. And I felt like that before. And every area of my life shut down. I had to shut down in career. I had to shut down in every area of my life because I took on too many tasks. So when I think about the non-negotiables for my life, I'm starting to ask myself the hard question. What do you require in your relationships? And not just like romantically, but what do you require? What kind of friendships do you want? I mean, if you're a person who friendships I think we all need at least one good friend. But if friendships don't really matter to you, then, maybe that's not something that's a focus. But if I want a good quality friendship, someone who can be there for me, just like I want to be there for them, I need to ask myself, what kind of friend do I want? Do I want a friend who we talk every blue moon? Do I want a friend who, we hang out every now and then? And I'm not the person who's going to say how often you and a friend have to talk, because I have different type of friendships. I have friendships where I talk to them every day around the clock. Then I have friendships where we check in a few times a week. I have friendships where maybe every few weeks, and then I have friendships where you just talk when you talk. But the point I'm trying to make is, if I'm the friend who you can call every time you're going through something, I pick up every time. Or I call back if I missed the call, or I text back. If I'm the friend who every event you have, I attend. If I'm the friend who you never have to act, I'm right there, I'm listening to you, then it's important for me to get the same. So in friendships, like, what are your non-negotiables? Like, what are the things that you require? Because I know the type of person I am. I know what you're going to get out of the relationship with me. I know you're going to get someone who's consistent, someone who is going to be there, who's supportive, who's loving, who's caring. I see some people, they have friends who plan like baby showers for them, friends who, if the baby got sick, they'll go pick the baby up from school. I mean, if you want that type of friendship, you have to make sure you're giving the same thing. So it definitely has to be a two-way street. But what are your non-negotiables? Are you okay with a friend who checks in every now and then? Are you okay with a friend who you're there when they need you, but they're not there when you need them? So it's important to kind of determine the quality of the relationship. Definitely when you think romantically, I think it's pretty easy for us to determine that. What are you looking for? Are you looking for a friendship? Are you trying to see how it flows? Are you wanting to actively date? What are your non-negotiables? If this person is coming into your life, what must they do for you to remain in their lives? Do you require consistency? What does consistency look for you? I think a lot of times we're getting caught up in social media, but we have to ask ourselves, what is your version of this word? Consistency could mean all day for someone. Consistency could mean every day for someone. Consistency could mean every other day. I mean, what is consistency for you? Does this person have to be patient? Do you need this person to be supportive? What does support look like to you? So I think when we're building relationships, we have to ask ourselves first, what do I want? What's the end goal? What do I expect to receive? And then you have to say, what am I going to input into this as well? So I know my output. I know I want to be successfully married. I know I want a great father for my child. I know I want a friend who can support me and help build a business. What's your output? What is it that you want? And then in return, what's your input? What are you going to give? And that is how you're going to determine, like, what are your non-negotiables? What are some things that they just must do? Now, we definitely have patience and understanding to some things, but if a person is repeatedly not doing what is asked, then it's like, okay, we're going to start removing ourselves from situations, because what we're doing is we're being so understanding to red flags. We're being understanding to bad qualities. And then we're looking up and then we're asking ourselves, why? I don't know who this person is. Well, the fact is, it's not that you don't know the person. You didn't give yourself an opportunity to really see them for who they are. You kept overlooking things to the point where it became second nature. So I'm definitely encouraged myself, but I'm definitely wanting to encourage you all to start thinking about your non-negotiables. What are the things that people must do to remain in your lives? And I'm not talking about superficial things like they must have money. I mean, of course we need money to survive, but I'm talking about qualitative things that a person internally has to do. What is going to give you peace, joy? What's going to make you smile? What's going to make you happy? What must a person do in order to remain in your life? Because we need to have some non-negotiables. We need to establish as our individual selves qualities that people must possess in order to be in our lives. Because if not, we're going to keep getting the same result. I know a lot of times I say, God, I'm a good person. I have a good heart. Why do I continue to get the same things out of life? But the saying is true. If you continuously do the same thing, you're going to continuously get the same result. If you continue to add 5 plus 5, it's going to give you 10. In no world do you add 5 plus 5 and get 9. In no world do you add 5 plus 5 and get 11. So we have to start changing what we're doing in order to get a different result. So I encourage you all today to take some time and think about your non-negotiables. Like, if you're thinking about it romantically, think about the type of husband you want. Think about the type of wife you want. Think about the type of friend you want. Think about the type of business you want. Think about the type of business partner you want. And then ask yourself, what must I do to make sure that I get this type of person? What does this person look like? What does a good business partner look like? Someone who's loyal, someone I can trust even when I'm not around, someone who can speak on my behalf, someone who's not going to get misled by an increase in income. So we have to think, what are your non-negotiables? Now, I'm not telling you if someone messes up, you can't forgive them. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. But what I am saying is we have to start saying, what are your non-negotiables? What are the things that you require? Because we're going to continue to get the same results unless we change our formula. I know he's fine. I know she's fine. I know the money look good. I know that job is easy. But if we continue to allow the same things to happen, we're not going to get that career shift that we need, which is going to elevate us to a higher position because we're so comfortable. If we continue to just say, he's fine, like, yeah, he's fine, but you're going to continue to get that guy with those bad qualities who's never going to be the type of husband you want. Yes, she's fine. She look good. But you're going to continue to get that same type of woman who's not loyal and who's not anyone you could really build a life with. So just stop and think, what are your non-negotiables? What must a person do? And I'm talking about qualitative things. What must a person do to be who you want? I know for me personally, understanding, patience, consistency, just being supportive. Those are some important things to me, regardless of whether it's a friendship, business partner, a relationship romantically. Like, I've never really felt like I've had a village. So support is very big for me. Consistency, being who you say you're going to be, showing up. We all have our good days and bad days, but showing up, being there, those things are important for me. So if consistency and support is big for me, I can't have anyone around me who doesn't believe in being consistent. I can't have anyone around me who thinks it's okay to pop in and pop out when they want. I can't have anyone who's like, you don't need me to post this. You don't need me to share this. You don't need me to, come to this event. No, I need people who are going to show up, be my village, support me consistently, be who I need them to be. So if I continue to accept less than what I deserve, I'm going to always get until I realize I'm going to get that same thing. So I'm encouraging myself, and I'm also encouraging you all. Start thinking about what you want. Start thinking about the future. I know we get caught up. I definitely do. In day to day, where we're just going from day to day, day to day. But if we continue to live from day to day, we're not going to make any plans. And if we don't make any plans, what's the saying? If you plan to fail, what is it? If you plan to fail, however it goes. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Yes. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And if you don't make any plans, you're not going to see any success in those areas. So definitely think about it. And it's not something you'll probably just come up with in a few seconds, but start to think about your output. What's that end result? What do you want? And it takes some time. And I'm talking about qualities. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with looks. It's nothing wrong with money. All of those things definitely have its share of weight. But think about the quality of what you want. Like I said, whether it's in business, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a romantic relationship, think about the quality of what you want. And then you also need to hold yourself accountable and say, what must I do to receive this and keep it? And then you have to hold people accountable. Hey, we all have our good days and bad days. Hey, I understand we all mess up on certain things, but I'm telling you, this is what I need. And if you are unable to meet this, then it was nice. It was cool while it was cool. But I'm going to another level, and my expectation is this. And if you can't meet it, then it's peace out. Non-negotiables. We have to apply them, and we have to stick to them. So definitely it was my pleasure today, you guys. I'm hoping that we all can apply some non-negotiables, positive non-negotiables in our lives so that we can start moving to the next level and we can start achieving the goals that we have for our lives. Again, this is your girl, Jasmine D, and this is the Brand of Jasmine D podcast. Thanks for listening.